Sup nerds, I'm CuppaJoey and welcome back to another episode of r/Quit Your Bollocks. Because it doesn't matter how many times some people are told to quit their bollocks, the bollocks just ain't being quit. Let's have a look. My girlfriend, by the way. Literally, who the frick are you? Oh, that's painful. That's painful. I mean, you know, a word of advice, dear friends, if you want to gather round and have some, freaking CuppaJoey wisdom upon your shoulders. Don't post random pictures of girls you don't know, claiming that they're your girlfriend. Not only can it go horribly wrong for you, like here, where they ask who the hell you are, but it's also just really freaking creepy. Like, really creepy. Don't do it. I just got jumped by 15 to 20 black guys screaming Black Lives Matter. I got the best of 3 to 5 of them before they got the best of me. I guess Facebook is trying to block this post. Share. Telepo MS stitches in my nose, eye, and the back of my head. White Lives Matter. Update, I'm good, I'll heal with some rest. The fight started with me against 3 when I started beating 1 good, about 10 more jumped in. Oh, it's just so freaking unbelievable, but you know, even if it wasn't for the blatant, the comeback that I'm about to read out, this would definitely be one for that happens. If it wasn't for the following. I would think a Marine would want to lie about a battle they were in. You started the fight you posted about in a bar, and you may not remember it, but you tried to start a fight with me, and if you had listened to us and went out of the way, we told you it would have never happened. You did not get jumped. That guy whipped you one-on-one. No one said anything about Black Lives Matter. You went across the parking lot and started a fight, and you got your bum handed to you. We will gladly post out surveillance video to your post if you will turn comments back on so I can comment on it. Ah, yes, because if somebody is a former Marine, you know that there's somebody that's definitely got a lot of, human compassion and empathy going on there. So this guy got drunk, decided to beat up a load of people, failed because he thought he was tougher than he actually is, and then thought, you know what, I'm gonna blame it on Black Lives Matter to try and stigmatize black people even more. Oh well, at least that little trip to the hospital was worth it. Honestly, and just like the whole reading of I managed to take out 3 of them by myself, but then 10 more jumped out. Like, where? Do you think that they're like freaking hiding? Like jumping out of a bin or like an alleyway? Like, and like a balloon freaking comes down, like freaking Team Rocket. You know what I mean? Why did anybody believe? I mean, people are believing it because they just want to stigmatize black people. Yeah, that's it. But, you can even see people like agreeing, like, just through the freaking reactions, like the angry the angry might be angry at him, I'd freaking be angry at him, but damn! Oh, why? Why, dude? Okay, so just a heads up, this next one might be a little bit triggering for anybody who has dealt with cancer in their family. But just bear in mind that this is from Quit Your Bollocks, so everything said is, it is bollocks. I, 27 female, to put it very bluntly, am dying. About 3 years ago, I've been diagnosed with multiple melanoma, which is basically when cancerous cells build up in a person's bone marrow. I realise that that's not melanoma, that's myeloma, so apologies for that one. My mouth just went on autocorrect. But then again, it's all bollocks anyway, so I don't think it matters all that much. Now, for a little backstory, our family hasn't been very lucky in the health department. My mum's dad died of lung cancer back in 2004. And my own dad died of nasopharyngeal cancer back in 2006. And suffice to say, my family despises cancer, and we've all made an effort to live a healthier lifestyle to decrease our chances of getting sick. However, due to family history, the diagnosis wasn't exactly a surprise to me. Now, I know what cancer can do. I've seen how crappy it can be and how it affects those around you. My dad fought really hard and promised us that he'll get better and everything will be okay, but in the end it took him. For a long time, that promise really messed me up. In a twisted way, I hated my dad for giving us hope for his recovery, and it's because of that I didn't tell my mum that I was sick. I didn't want her to relive the pain of slowly watching someone die. For years, my mum lived her life solely for my siblings and I's sake. She was always working, basically giving it her best to fill in both parental roles. At the same time, she was mourning the loss of my dad and saw how the mental toll it took on, and I saw how the mental toll it took on her. Oh, okay. Yeah. It wasn't until I finished nursing school and work that I was able to convince her to take a step back and relax. Since then, I can see she's slowly healing, getting better, and even started dating again. It was around that time that I got diagnosed, and seeing how my mum's getting better, I didn't want to take that happiness away with the news of my sickness. Ever since I've been diagnosed, I've been spending lots of time with my friends and family, trying to make up for time I may not have. A few days ago, my doctor, a very good friend, said that the cancer has spread to my bones, lungs and liver. She gave me a month at most to live and has referred me to hospice care. As my doctor, she stands by all my decisions respectfully, but as my friend has advised me to tell my family about my condition ASAP. Now, I wasn't planning on telling my family up until the last moment. I wanted them to remember me as someone who is healthy and happy, not as someone who looks, well, like they're dying. My friend told me she knows where I'm coming from, but I'll be the biggest freaking bumhole in this goddamn world if I don't tell my family now. So Reddit, am I the butthole for not wanting to tell my family I'm dying until the last possible second? So I'm going to read out this comment before I read out what one of the moderators said. It said, I don't believe you, so you're the butthole. Because this is from, if you haven't figured it out, this was from Am I the Butthole? Overall, what you are describing would be incredibly exceptional for multiple myeloma. I think I said that right. Multiple myeloma is seen in older patients, mostly over 50 and almost exclusively over 40. Only 0.3% of cases are under the age of 30, so out of 32,000 cases per year in the US, that means that there are about 100 cases of patients under 30. Multiple myeloma at age 24 is virtually unheard of. Also, multiple myeloma does not spread to bone late in disease like many cancers. It starts in the bone in almost all cases, and although it can involve the lungs, this is quite rare. Unusual enough that people publish case reports about it. It would be incredibly rare for someone to present the way you describe, but I suppose not impossible. We're talking maybe a person per year in the US tops. Furthermore, you are also telling a story of a very sick person. It would also be essentially impossible to convince people you are spending a lot of time with that you are healthy if you are less than 1 month away from dying with multiple myeloma with involvements of lungs and liver. And then above that, one of the mods said, this post violates Rule 8. Posts should be truthful and reflect recent conflicts you've had and need arbitration. This means no crap post parodies or satires. And then they go on to clarify and say there have been several accusations reported that suggest for medical reasons that this post cannot be true. If you wish to dispute this, please contact the mod team, and boy, we are going to feel like buttholes. So this is something that for me personally definitely caused a hell of a lot of rage, because everything that this person is talking about involving having cancer in the family and seeing people die actually did affect me. My mother died of cancer 5 days after my 12th birthday. My father had to raise me and my brother on his own, trying to do what he could for us, all while grieving his wife. So for somebody to come in and say, oh, I went through all of this and therefore I can't bear seeing my family go through that again, like, as somebody that has been through that, it just makes me so mad that people try and claim a struggle that I had just for freaking internet clout. Especially when, if there's anybody listening to this, if you know, like, if you go through a loss as a child, it just, like, death kind of consumes you. It's kind of constantly on your mind, like, what am I going to do if so-and-so dies? What am I going to do if that person dies? What are they going to do if I die? It's a constant kind of looming presence, I guess. So this whole, like, oh, I didn't tell them because of this, and it really annoys me, that whole, oh, he told me he was going to get better, but he didn't, and now I resent him. Like, the thing with cancer and the way it develops and the way it progresses and the decline that you see, like, you can see it coming eventually. Like, even me at, like, 12 years old, I knew that, well, at 11, because it took a while, I knew that I was going to lose my mum. But then to freaking claim that on Reddit for internet clout, and not just any kind of internet clout, freaking, like, anonymous internet clout, they don't even know who this person is, like, they're getting nothing for it. Other than, like, a few, like, oh, there's a hug award, because they don't even just do silver, gold, and, evidently platinum anymore. Like, this is the kind of way that people try and get attention for themselves that they can't get through things like, achievements, or doing something good, or, creating something beautiful, or, doing something good for the community. If you want attention, maybe try and do something like that, instead of claiming that you've got an illness that you don't have. And also, let's just take a moment to, appreciate the utter freaking lack of foresight that it took to claim that you've got a cancer that only affects really, really old people that at the age of 24, and then it would progress in ways that it, and that it has progressed in ways that it actually wouldn't, to the point that if this was true, you'd be in some kind of freaking medical journal about this weird development. That lack of foresight is what made me laugh. Like, come on, if you could at least go for one of the more generic ones, they could have said, I don't know, colon or breast or whatever, and it would have, people would have believed it more if they were that desperate for it to, don't take this as a guide on how to lie on the internet, because no, don't do that, it's not fun, it's not cool or groovy, I know that everybody wants to be as groovy as me, but you're not going to get that groovy by lying about having cancer on the internet. There are other ways to be groovy. Create some art, do some good, get clout that way. I was treated rudely by the girls behind the counter because I wasn't wearing a mask. Yet everybody was sitting down without one. I was told I could stand outside and call in. How absurd. This mask mandate is illegal and you cannot be legally fined. I hope y'all go out of business if you continue to force something that is illegal. Stand up to the City Council and Board of Health. Until then, I will no longer eat at your establishment. Robert, you called a pregnant staff member a Nazi bee and told us all to F off. We're incredibly comfortable with you not eating here ever, ever, ever again. In fact, consider yourself trespassed from both of our locations and tasty food. Thank you, bye-bye. I think they meant consider yourself banned, like consider yourself trespassed. that would mean like, yeah, well, we're gonna put our building on you. How the frick do you like that? Which, I mean, would be a bit of a more extreme response, but hey, why not? Honestly, the amount of people just making such a fuss over a mask. Oh, you're Nazis, because I have to put this little piece of cloth over my mouth. Oh, it's just it really makes it slightly uncomfortable for a short amount of time. Like, just get over yourself. Amazing how, like, they all have medical conditions as well, how they can't breathe while they're screaming at the top of their lungs. Like, come on, Robert. We know that that's a load of bollocks. Very poor customer service. I do not recommend this place. Mike, it seems you had a very bad morning. As a private healthcare facility, we are obliged to comply with local ordinances and the state rules requiring you to wear a face mask when entering a medical office, for any business for that matter. Further, when we made your appointment, we informed you that family members could not enter the office with you, but you brought your small child anyway and told our staff it was all political. We do not provide a babysitting service. Still, we accommodated you, and we know our staff was very kind to you and your child, even though you put our staff at risk and perhaps your own child as well. Honestly, they really should not have, accommodated this loser. I mean, if the guy is refusing to wear a mask and has brought in a small kid, I'm sorry, but kids are just germs, freaking havens. They're so gross. They lick the floor, they lick their hands, they lick your face. Oh no, that's dogs. That's dogs, sorry. I always get the... No, but the way that they cough with open mouths, the amount of times I see people well, my kid isn't wearing a face mask because they don't have to. Put your kids in a mask. They're the ones that are spreading the most germs, and they're more likely to get really freaking sick if they do contract this virus. Honestly, they shouldn't have, given him any freaking leeway for this. What a freaking awful, awful, awful Mike. Awful Mike. I was gonna say man, and then it changed to Mike, and I was like, Mike! What an awful Mike! I'll roll with that. That could be his name from now on. You might have seen on my page that I now have a Patreon. So for just £2, you will get exclusive access to my blooper reel with unseen bits that I haven't yet posted on this channel. And at the highest tier, you will get your name in credits at the end of my videos. Bearing in mind that I post a video 5 times a week, that's a lot of videos you're going to get your name in credits on. If not, a little like and a subscribe on my channel help a lot. Well, that's it for this episode of r/QuitYouBollocks. Honestly, I have no idea why some people think that they can get away with this when so much of it is very easily disproven with, just a quick Google search, And as I say at the end of every episode, if you enjoyed hearing from this subreddit or would like to hear from any other subreddit, then do let me know in the comments. Remember, I do have a Patreon as well, where you can have the chance to get your name in the credits of my videos, so if you'd like to get credits for this, then just have a look there. And until then, I'll see you all next time.